There we go. Fish on. Oh my gosh, this might be a huge bass. There we go. That feels decent. Always decent. Look at that one, guys. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I am very excited for today's episode because if y'all remember, last week I tried to go fishing at a lake, but whenever I got there, it was closed. It had gates barricaded up, it was locked up, and I wasn't able to fish in that lake because somebody contracted a very suspicious parasite from that body of water from swimming in it. It was bad enough that they had to close the lake to do some further sampling. Well, after that sampling, they found that there was quite a few of those parasites living in the lake, and they decided to lock it up forever to swimmers. So swimmers are no longer allowed to swim this lake, but they opened it up back to anglers. So we are here at that exact body of water today. Actually feels pretty good out here. It's been pretty hot in Arkansas, but it's only like in the mid 80s today. And I am very much looking forward to getting the kayak out on the water and trying to catch some bass. What's got me really excited about going fishing today is that this lake has been virtually untouched for the last couple of weeks. There's been no anglers out here. So hopefully the fish will be in a feeding mood, and hopefully we won't fall into the water and gulp down any of this water because we don't need any of these parasites in our lives. And in case you're wondering, the person that contracted the parasite, I think they're doing okay now. So that's definitely a good thing. But guys, if y'all are excited to join along with me on this fishing adventure, I would greatly appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and let's have an afternoon catch the big old bass. Let's go. There we go, baby. Finally got ourselves a fish. What is that? A little bass? Hey, how about it? Just skip this frog up underneath them bushes and we got one. That was a little bit unexpected. So to clue y'all in, I'm fishing in a creek and I had just already made my way all the way down to the back of it, fished down both sides without any luck. And I was fishing back up this way and I swapped up to a white top toad and was skipping underneath these bushes, and I just caught my first bass. And while he is not very big at all, it is definitely a step in the right direction. I've been out here for about an hour and a half already, and that was the very first bite that I have had. So we'll take it, start off with a nice little bass. We'll see you later. Let me show you guys the lure I just caught that bass with. This is the Stanley Top Toad, and honestly, this is one of my favorite lures of all time. I've caught so many bass on this frog. What's great about this one is that this toad actually floats on the surface, unlike some of your other toads like your horny toad or your gambler cane toad. So you can work this one a little bit slower than some of your other toads, and these paddle feet make a really nice bubble trail. But what's really great is that you can equip it with this double pronged frog hook for some excellent hookups. So you just screw it in, like I already have it, run that hook into the back right there. It's got a nice spot where you can put those hooks. You can bury them in there a little bit. And this bait just fishes like a dream. You can reel it really slow, make some nice gurgling action. It also skips exceptionally well. Like I can skip this frog way better than I can skip any other hollow-bodied frog. And I'm not really sure what it is. I think it's probably because of this keel weight right here. But anyways, we are on the board with our first fish. Let's see if we can catch some more. Fish on. Fish on. He's swimming right at me. Oh my gosh. This might be a huge bass. It's on a big freaking worm. Oh, it's a nice bass. Nice bass on the Magnum shaky head. How big is he? Oh, he's not even that big. Oh, I got so psyched. I got so psyched. Woohoo! There we go, guys. Finally, there's our second bass, and look what I caught that guy on. That is that Magnum-sized 6th Sense Divine Shaky Worm, 9.5 inches long. And that's only like a 2-pound bass. Wow. I kept waiting for that fish to feel heavier and heavier, but it just didn't happen. Whew, there we go. Second bass on a huge shaky head worm. That's what's up. Okay, that fish kind of pulled me up here to this spot. I'm gonna back us up a little bit. Check out that one right there, guys. That is our third bass of the afternoon. I'm glad I decided to come back out here main lake at those shaky head around. Something was telling me that, you know, the creek channel was not the deal, and honestly that was just because I wasn't getting any bites. But look at the size of that bait right there, guys. Big old 9.5 inch divine shaky worm on a big old 5/8 ounce 6 inch shaky head. And that is a beautiful, nice little sunset bass right there. Probably our biggest one. He's probably about 2 1/4. Nothing to brag about, but I have a feeling if we keep throwing that shaky head around, we might just mess up and hook into a big one. So let's send this one back and let's see if we can catch that monster bass we're after this afternoon. There we go. That feels decent. That feels decent. He's gotten a little smaller. He felt decent for a minute. Oh, he's decent. Oh yeah, baby, he's decent. He is decent, all right. That is a real decent bass. Hoo, 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 hoo. They are loaded on this point, it seems like. They are loaded. Stay on there, buddy. That is a good one. That is a good one. He's hooked pretty good. Whew. Give me your mouth. Gotcha. Gotcha. Look at that one, guys. Oh, now that is what I'm talking about, baby. That is a really good bass. He ate half of my shaky head, but that's all right. That is a really, really solid fish. Oh, heck yeah. Check out the size of that largemouth. That is the fish we've been after all afternoon. Pulled up on this point, throwing that big 9.5 inch 6 inch divine shaky head, and we finally connected with a big bruiser. Gonna be close to 4 pounds or so, but that is a beautiful fish. He actually ate half of my worm. There's not anything left in there. Something that's kind of unfortunate that I'm seeing is if you look right here, see that hole right there? So somebody actually once caught this fish before and released it, but whenever they had it in the live well, they had it on a cull tag and it punctured through his bottom lip. There are some cull tags out there that are no puncture, and those ones I would actually recommend so you don't worry about putting a big old hole in the fish's mouth, because when I went to grab that fish, my finger actually slipped through that hole, and that's just not super great. So if you're gonna be a tournament angler, I would definitely recommend getting the no puncture cull tag so you don't have to worry about these big fish having holes in their mouths. But nonetheless, he still ate that shaky head, gobbled it down, actually hooked him on the underside of his mouth. So whatever, I'm not mad about it. I'm just glad to have caught it. So let me get him hooked. We're gonna weigh him real quick too and see how big he actually was. 4 pounds and 3 ounces. Still a 4 pounder, still a really quality largemouth bass. What an awesome catch. Let's get him back in the water and let's get back out there so we can catch a couple more on that shaky head. We'll see you later. Okay, so here's the bait that I just caught that bass on. This is that divine shaky worm, 9.5 inch plum melon magic. I really love a big worm in the middle of the summertime. There's just something about it that really gets bit. And I especially love a big, long, straight-tailed worm. Most guys are throwing ribbon-tail worms, which seem to work pretty well, but I just personally have had better luck on a straight-tail worm like this on a shaky head. So here is the divine shaky head that you use to pair up to the divine shaky worm. This is a 5/8 ounce head, and you can see it's flat. So when the worm is sitting on the bottom, it sits straight up in the air, and whenever you shake it, that tail just quivers and goes nuts. So what you'll do is you'll just screw it onto the keeper right here, and that screw lock will keep the worm in place. These baits are kind of oily once they get wet. My hands are all wet, so it makes it kind of hard to screw it on there. But there we go, we are getting onto the keeper, and I'm also kind of shaking a little bit from catching that fish. That was a lot of fun. And you can see these are very beefy shaky heads. They come with a big, stout, wide gap hook. You just kind of find where that hook goes into the worm, which is right there on between those two segments. And then I'll just stick it right through there. And then to make it weedless, I just Texpose the hook. And there you go. There is a big, meaty presentation that these bass just simply cannot resist. And I'm actually going to retie. It feels kind of janky right there, so I'm gonna retie, cast back out there and see if we can catch some more. We are getting dangerously low on daylight. We have about 15 to 20 minutes left to fish. So I'm gonna do the only thing I can think to do to cover as much water and possibly get a bite, and that is throw the old trusty buzzbait. This thing has bailed me out of trouble so many times this summer, and we're gonna see if it can bail us out again so we can get one more fish. I got a feeling if we do get bit on it, it's gonna be a good one. We've got all this nice grass surrounding the edge of the bank, so I'm just gonna run this thing parallel to this grass, and we're gonna see if we can get one to come out and smoke it. All right, buddy, so Daddy didn't catch that many fish yesterday, and this is how it all planned out. So first off, Daddy went out to a parasite-infested lake that's been closed for the last couple of weeks due to some, like I said, some deadly parasites swimming in it. So that might not have been the best idea, but we had to send it because I had a good feeling we were gonna be able to catch some fish. And the plan was to go fishing down some shady banks and throw them with topwater baits. You know what topwater baits are? The ones that go on top, they go, and that just goes topwater, the best. And you know, that just didn't work out. We did that for like an hour and a half. We got one bite on the top toe, which was very surprising, but I was glad to catch that one fish, but it was just one little rinky-dink fish. So then we only had like an hour and a half of daylight left to work with, and we had to scrap everything and just go for it, try to do something new. And you guys saw it was kind of a train wreck. I was swapping through all sorts of different types of lures, but we finally landed on this big guy right here, the 6th Sense Divine Shaky Worm. This is the magnum size, 9.5 inches long on a real heavy, shaky head jig head. You see that, buddy? Look at how big that worm is. It's almost as big as you. It's a huge worm. And so what we did, we went over to this big, nasty point. We're like, if there's gonna be a fish anywhere in this lake, it's gonna be here. We threw it out there, and on the very first cast, buddy, we got ourselves a fish. And I was like, yes. It was just a 2-pounder, but it was a big step in the right direction because on the next cast, we caught another one. My camera died, as you saw, but we caught another bass on the big shaky worm. And I thought it was gonna be on like Donkey Kong, so I threw out there again, and we got another one. A big one. 4-pounder, bigger than you.
Big.
Like the same length, not as heavy. I wanna catch one like you. You're 15 pounds. 15-pound bass? 16, I wanna catch a 16-pound bass. 4-pounder, that's a really respectable fish, Cypress. You'll be hopefully catching lots of 4-pounders one day, but that was the catch of the day. Like I said, wouldn't have been able to catch it unless I was throwing this big guy right here. Big old nasty worm, a tried and true classic summer pattern that usually always generates some nice bites. And then we fished and fished and fished for like another hour and a half with 0 more bites.
Aw,
Goose egg
man.
the last hour and a half. And I thought we were gonna catch some on a buzzbait at dark, but didn't work out. And that's just how summer fishing is. It can be very tough, but it can also be rewarding. You just never know what you're gonna get, but it's always worth it to go out and try. No matter the conditions, no matter how hot it is, it's always fun to be out on the water and trying to catch some fish. And that's something I want you to remember, Cypress, as you become a little angler. Is you always got to go out and try it, no matter what. It's always gonna be different, but some days you're gonna smack them, and some days you're only gonna catch 4 bass.
You got it, Dad.
You got it, buddy. We're gonna catch a big fish one day. So guys, that was the official recap from yesterday's fishing mission. It was a lot of fun. You know, it was grind. It was a grind. I mean, I got all the bites like in a 5-minute window and then like 4 hours of no bites. It was tough. It was very tough, but like I said, it's always fun going out in the water and trying new bodies of water and just trying to catch these finicky summertime bass. But guys, I hope that y'all enjoyed hanging out with me out on the lake and hopefully you gained something from it. If so, do me a huge favor, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of our future fishing adventures. We're Colin J, Baby C, and we'll see ya on the next one. Bye guys. Get it, Cypress, get it. Boom.